Hi YouTube, my name is Numi and I am back with you for unboxing number 4 of the Silver Forum Heritage NGC mega unboxing of graded coins, and this is the one that I know many of you have been waiting for. What can I say? This is probably something that you're not going to see on YouTube very often. And today is the day we look at sovereigns mostly. So if you don't like sovereigns, if you get turned off by sovereigns, if you hate sovereigns, if you don't want to take a look at some of the most lovely sovereigns ever, then please turn away now. Oops, too late. I think that collecting sovereigns has improved quite a lot in popularity. It's never been unpopular. In fact, it's always been very popular in Britain. The sovereign is the United Kingdom's most popular gold coin. Very long history. Very good in terms of capital gains tax, and also, of course, in terms of VAT, value added tax as well. So let's take a look at the actual coins. 1885 Sydney Australian sovereign, 62 plus. Lovely coin. They always give a plus sign if they think it is slightly better than the regular coin for this grade, but maybe not quite as good as the next grade. You'll also sometimes see stars, and a star is for a coin which looks particularly pleasant to look at. An 1874 Melbourne sovereign, another Australian sovereign, AU58, so not quite mint state, but still very collectible, very good condition, lovely coin. And this particular one is absolutely one of my favourites in this whole box. It's only an AU55, but it is an 1883 Melbourne shieldback. I particularly collect shieldbacks as well, an Australian Melbourne shieldbacks, and these are so difficult to find, and in this beautiful condition, just really difficult to find. Very expensive coin. If you like this one, let me know, but I think there's 2 or 3 that are my personal favourites in this box, and this is one of them. The back of it is not quite, well, in fact better condition than the front, a tiny bit. They have less wear on the shield side. So moving on, look at this collection of amazing letters. Let's pause to take a look. So it's got a variety listing. It's the S number is the Spink catalogue reference number, and then I've also got them to put on this DG far. So this is like a wider spacing of the D and the G, which is just to the left of the little Diddy crown on Queen Victoria. So let's have a look at that in a little bit closer, and you can see that the D and the G are spaced out on this, and you'll see there's another one later on in this video which is DG near, and you can just about see the difference between them. So 1894 M, very nice coin, very nice condition. MS61 is always a grade that I'm personally very happy with. Kind of semi-mirrored fields, very nice condition, good coin. I'm sure that my friend who collects these, whose coins they are, will be very happy. An MS62 here for this Young Head and St George. NGC, whenever there is both a shieldback and a St George on these coins, they actually denote whether it's a shield or a St George on the label. If there's only a St George that year, no shield, you'll just see a plain label without either St George or the shield on. Ooh, interesting. It's interesting because these are some of the first brown details labels. It's never good to have details, but you can see here this is a DG close variety. It's got the Spink number, everything's good about it apart from the fact that they thought that coin had been cleaned. Here's another better one, a better grade. So Spink number, DG far, and large JEB. So I've been trying to get NGC to put more information on these sovereigns by giving them quite a few varieties to grade, and I think they're gradually getting the message. PCGS has been putting more information on, and I think that NGC has been playing catch up a little bit, but I think it's quite useful to have a little bit more information, so you don't have to then look up the Spink number. You can actually get an idea of what that coin particularly is. Here's another variety, Spink number 3858B, first head, and interestingly, no BP. And I know we've been having a debate in the Silver Forum about whether sovereigns really do exist with a true no BP. Are they just, were they BP sovereigns under the truncation of the Queen's head, or are they actually there, or did they not mint it with the BP? Is it invisible because it's badly minted, weak strike, or is it actually not there at all? Here's another good one, 1929p, Perth mint, MS63, very nice coin, good example, very happy with that one. This particular collector that owns all these sovereigns, or quite a large number of them, and there's actually coins that belong to 3 or 4 people in this box, including myself, and I will show you which ones are mine, and you'll see how I've done in my grading as well. 1899M for Melbourne, the veiled head, MS61, pretty good grade, always good. Here's another one. This one is a really interesting grade. You very, very rarely see an MS60. It will either be a 58 or a 61, hardly ever a 60. It's one of the rarest grades because it bridges AU to mint state, and if they just cannot decide which one it should be, or it's right in the middle, they'll then give it an MS60. Here's a 1931p Perth mint. This is the George V small head. This is one of the 4 years or so they produced at the end of George V's sovereign reign. They produced coins with a small head. They are much more difficult to get in first class condition, so a 64 on one of these coins is actually very good, because there's a larger field area, so they get scratched a little more easily. Another veiled head, 1900, S for Sydney, Australian sovereign. Also pretty good. MS63, very nice grade. It's slightly easier with the later coins to get good grades. They weren't as heavily circulated, so there are more good grades around after about 1887 normally. This one is an 1881S, Sydney mint, an AU58, still a very nice coin, good one for the collection. Next up is a 1900. This is also a veiled head one, MS62. This one is for a change a British sovereign. So many of the sovereigns actually that were minted that are left are Australian, and NGC will always say the country. I'm not sure I 100% agree with this, but they actually maybe should say Great Britain, but actually they'll say Australia or India or South Africa. They'll put the country of minting onto the label. In some ways they should put Great Britain / India, Great Britain / something else, South Africa, but they haven't, and they go by what it is that they do. It makes it a little bit more difficult in the census to actually see where the sovereigns are, because if you want to find sovereigns, you've actually got to look up by country. So you've got to go to Australia or Canada, South Africa, India. You've got to go to all those places to find what you're looking for, which makes it a little bit more cumbersome to find. 1850, pretty early one. An 1873 shieldback, also an English one, AU58. I mean, you can see just how much detail is left on an AU58. And if you think about the average shieldback that you see on eBay, for example, and all the sellers will say, this is great condition, you know, uncirculated, plus, plus, gem this, gem that. You compare these AU58s to almost everything you see at a high price on eBay, and it's pretty clear just how overgraded by eBay sellers a lot of raw coins are. You know, a lot of those things they say are great actually turn out to be, you know, XF45 or something like that. Ooh, there's a bad one. Harshly cleaned. I'm sorry that's harshly cleaned. I hate to see these details coins, particularly when they're varieties and they're pretty expensive coins and rare coins. To see them as cleaned coins is not great. This is absolutely spectacular, this coin. And 1859 is a very rare year. You'll see very few of them around. I've got two 1859s that I bought at auction in different places, and mine reached, I think, AU53 and AU55. To get a 61 is actually really, really good for an 1859. There were two varieties. There was the Ansel variety and the regular variety in 1859. This one's a regular one, but it is still, even the regular one is actually a really rare coin. So there you have it. That brings us to the end of the first side of the Sovereign box, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get to see the second part of that as well. Please like, subscribe, and let's have all your comments on Sovereigns.